is convinced he loves the Lord. There's no doubt in my mind that Peter was meaning what he was saying to Jesus when he said to him, I'll never disown you. I'll never say that you aren't my Lord. And you know, whenever he goes to Jesus says the cock will crow 3 times, and then you'll have, left me. You'll have said you didn't know me. And Peter's like, no, Lord. And I do believe with all conviction in Peter's heart he meant it. But then, of course, Jesus knew this was all going to happen. But Jesus had to say it. And when Jesus speaks, everything comes to pass. It came to pass, and then Peter was like, oh my goodness. And then that's whenever he was weeping bitterly, because he had realised what he had done, and what Jesus had said was the truth. And then, of course, in the back of your mind, if I was Peter, I'd be like, how do you know that was going to happen? There's a lot of these things, like feeding the 5,000, you'd be like, what is going on? What is going on? Honestly, if I was there, I'd be like, guys, can we just talk about this, because I'm freaking out here? Like, this boyo that we're knocking about with, are you seeing what he's doing? Like, this does not make sense. Make this make sense. And they couldn't understand. And even when he spoke in parables, they couldn't understand. And then there's times where he was just speaking dead plainly, and they were like, right, okay, yeah, we know what you're on about now. Yeah. Why don't you speak like that all the time? Because some things are hidden and we're not meant to understand all things. But when I see Peter and all of his shenanigans and all what's going on, and when I read about this in Mark 9, I nearly wet myself laughing, because he's freaking out. He's like, what is going on? There's God is here, and Elijah and Moses and all these people that were like in the Old Testament, and look at Jesus' face and what is going on. And I would be the same. I would be freaking out. I would be like, what is going on? Like, we'll just stand here. No, let's say something really sensible. Let's build an altar for you, Jesus and Moses and Elijah. Like, come on. Like, and it says in the verses, because Peter didn't know what else to say. So it shows you, Peter was all by himself. He just hadn't a clue what was going on. And I laugh because I resonate so much with Peter, because there's times where I've been like, yes, I'm zealous for God, and cutting people's ears off and slicing it down. Don't you be talking about Jesus that got there. And then there's other times where Jesus called me to move out and go to different places and move job, and away I went with them, took him by the hand, we're walking on the water, it's great. And then all of a sudden, a couple of weeks later, you're like, what am I doing here?